What's up, guys? I'm Randomfrankp. Back finally after like a month hiatus. Maybe wondering where I was. Well, for longtime viewers of the channel, you'll know that down here in the studio, I've been wanting to expand. So that's what we did. We knocked some walls down. I documented it. We'll go through some of the vlogging process and all that this last month. However, with some big projects, there's always gonna be some setbacks and things gone wrong. And there's been some hiccups. So I'll toss you through the last month. Like I said, I vlogged some of it so you can see the before, the during, the after, the transformation of the studio. Let's kick it back to before all the mayhem. Okay, so it's all gonna start right here. There's really a four-pronged approach to this new renovation with set up an area 1, target 1, 2, 3, and then upstairs being 4. But yeah, it's all gonna start right here, demoing this wall to open up the space a bit more and expand, widen the studio. So this wall just has only ever served as a little mini divider between the bathroom over there, the unfinished laundry room from the previous owners, which is not a laundry room anymore because we have a laundry room upstairs. This has always just been, as you can see, a bad use of storage with me piling a bunch of cases, builds, monitors, chairs. So that is part of that. Then we have the real storage room over there for all the products and peripherals and stuff. This wall getting demoed. This wall and this wall getting demoed, opening up this entire space. So the L-shaped studio is now more of like that little Tetris thing, whatever you want to call that. This is going to be completely redone. All this stuff's going to go somewhere else. This is going to be a finished room, much better lighting, just yeah, completely finished, because as you can see, it is still unfinished. What's going to go in here, I'm not 100% sure yet. Because we're in the basement, these ceilings are very low. I know I'm using a wide angle lens right now, but these are about, I want to say 7 feet. So I can't do a lot in terms of, the vertical space in here. But whether that's just being a dedicated streaming room for my whatnot streams, or just another an overhead filming shot for B-roll, something will be done with this room. So where is all of this stuff going? That's gonna lead to part number 2, bringing you guys over here. Pretty boring, but this is what really just allows me the freedom to do all this stuff. This part you guys probably haven't seen. This is the other unfinished part of the basement, the other unfinished part of the house down here, which has always just been a super dark and cluttered storage room. There was only 2 little light bulbs in here, so we finally got new lighting to actually see what the hell's going on down here. And we have all these shelves lining the perimeter pretty much for extra storage. Holiday decor, all the stuff for that, all the baby clothes, baby toys. This stuff is big, it's clunky, and the space adds up quick, or it gets taken up quick. This has always just been all cluttered in here. So imagine everything you see up on shelves just stacked on the floor here. That's how it's been for 5 years now. So the fact that we finally got this space redone, it frees up a lot of space in here and lets me use all of this pretty much to house all those old cases, builds, and monitors if I don't sell them off on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or do a yard sale. That's where all this is going to go, which lets me now free up that current laundry room. Part number 3 is this space. This was always intended to be a filming spot, in another set, because I've done a few console content, whether it's peripherals around console stuff, headsets. So this entertainment setup was always meant to be filming for that, but it never really got utilized. It's cool for the occasional console headset review or something, but I just don't do them enough. And yeah, it's cool. I have the chair and stuff here. Things are obviously starting to get moved around, so the chair is normally here. A great little chill spot, sure, for some console gaming or kicking back, watching TV or YouTube. But I would rather this space be properly utilized. So this is all going to change. This like $60 futon from Amazon, it's gonna go. It's trash. It is just terrible. It broke within like the first day. It's just been here. Right here is gonna be a new desk setup. And I want to repaint the walls to be that blue color that we have in our guest bedroom, which I'll show you in just a second, and get some of those wooden slat panels here from WoodUp to really modernize and transform this space, again, just for a better use of filming. So what setup is going to go there? Bring you guys over here to the main secondary filming spot, which you guys see a lot in my B-roll for all my videos pretty much. I'm usually filming over here a lot of times. This setup, which is again currently in the process of being broken down and moved, this setup is going to go over there. I do have this rug, which is currently just a backdrop for my Whatnot streams, so disregard this. This will be all emptied out. I'm going to put a new setup here because this entire part of the studio is also going to get redone. You guys remember when I built this faux brick wall with the insulation panels back in 2019? This, again, was always intended to be a backdrop for another filming space. I maybe did that in like 2 or 3 videos. I only really use this for my PC build videos, which aren't that frequent at all. So it's a bad utilization of space. It just 9 times out of 10 turns into more storage stuff, and we just have to put something down real quick. It's cluttered. It's bad. This is I'm going to get rid of these today. It's early, so hopefully I can knock it all out today. But yeah, this eventually is going to be transformed to another sort of extension of that area over there. The visual aesthetics is going to be an extension over here. So possibly more sort of wooden panels. It's funny, I was watching the Queer Ultimatum, and there was this one cafe shot where they had these 2x4s in the background with some ivy, and it looked great. And that's kind of what I want to do here. If I could go get some stained 2x4s and mount them and get some fake ivy, that would just open up the space a lot more, because the black sort of just, while it looks good on camera, sure, the fake, the fake brick wall, it definitely closes it off a bit because the black is just so dark. So that will widen it up in a sense where it's going to be brighter in here, but also be more visually appealing on camera. So what is going to go here? That is the 4th part of all this, and that leads us to upstairs. Okay, the 4th part to all of this. This, again, has been used sparingly as a spot for filming. This is my upstairs office. I use this for like getting some work done that doesn't require me to be downstairs, meetings and stuff. It's also like my workout room with my tonal and all that. That's all gotta go. This room is gonna be a new nursery for another little baby boy coming in March. So everything in here has to work its way downstairs into the new spaces that we're making. So this white setup is going to find its way to where my current black minimal setup is against that back wall. And then just for quick comparison's sake, there's no lights on in here, but this blue wall that we have, this is like the guest bedroom in the house. But I do some B-roll stuff in here for like Cool Tech Under 50, and I love the way this color blue looks on camera. So my goal is to repaint the current entertainment space downstairs where it's that gray accent wall to this blue color, and I think those wooden slab panels would look really great sort of accenting that. I know it's not really shining nicely on the camera right now because it's dark in here and I don't have any lights on, but yes. You're now starting to see the overall vision for the new spaces.
So for the first 2 weeks or so, I couldn't get much filming done because a lot of the studio was partitioned and blocked off to prevent a lot of the drywall and dust from spreading everywhere. So I only had limited access. The studio was like broken up into 3s pretty much, and everything was just a mess from things being reorganized and moved in order for them to make space. Everything from the old laundry room had to be taken out, obviously, and everything from the old the storage space on the other side of the house, which I showed you, had to be all taken out of there in order to set up the shelves. So literally my entire studio was blocked off and filled with just junk and stuff from around the house. So couldn't get much stuff done. take you through the next part of all this when I decided to start to move some of the things over here and start the renovation behind the camera.
Okay, so I'm going to start by breaking down these insulation panels on the wall, aka the fake brick panels. They're super light. I think they're just held up by maybe a few screws. Mostly double-sided tape because, again, they're so light. So we're going to break this down. I'm going to bring them up to the dumpster and start bringing in the new wooden panels and start to transform the whole space. It's definitely messy over here because everything going on over there right now. So figured we'll start off right here. So when I was starting to peel those panels back, 'cause again, they were just pretty much stuck on by tape, there's a few screws where I had the like the color mats that were mounted there, but as I was starting to peel them off the wall, I got a bit of that, that musty, moldy smell that you typically smell in like a wet, unfinished basement. And I was like, huh, that's not good. And then we noticed the nails we were pulling out were all rusted, which leads me to believe, you connect the dots, there is water all on the inside of this wall if these are rusted. And also some of the nails that we have up here, which we're just securing the panels to the wall, these were also rusted. So this is potentially going to be a major delay and a major issue if we're having some mold there, up in that corner, and then whatever that black line is up there. It's really tough to tell right now. I'm having someone come out on Monday. When you guys see this, it's weeks from now, but having someone come out in a few days to assess it, and then hopefully we could fix this up. Best case scenario is it's not a big deal. We could just apply that like mold sealant and then paint over it, and that'll be good. Worst case scenario is there is a major water damage and mold on the inside of the drywall, which will have to be gutted and then, properly treated and then sealed back up, which would probably be like a few weeks delayed at that. So hoping for the best. So the main culprit behind this wall is what leads to the outside downstairs, and we had a new deck put on in April, so this leads right up to the deck on the outside. And when they were putting up that deck, the contractor said that there was no flashing between the side panels of the old deck and here, so there was potentially water damage. But since I had these panels up and there wasn't any water damage to the years prior to them being up, and I didn't smell obvious mold down here all the time, I was like, oh no, that's not an issue. But it was, because when I took them off, you guys now see that the deck contractor was right and that there was water damage. So now I'm gonna have to really hope this isn't a major deal and setback, but it probably is. Let me show you guys the current sort of update going on over here. The last few days, they've made a lot of progress. Mostly it's been taped out because of the drywall and stuff, knocking that down. Well, it's just the dust and everything from that. And it's definitely a lot more open. So let me pop a light on, and you guys can see that this now is much more open. Let me go wide angle again. It's definitely kind of hard to give you a scope because this is right here, so I can't like fully give you a wide shot. But the previous wall went to right here, if you remember, down to here. So there was a wall here. This is the only open space, and then a wall pretty much all along here, which housed the previous laundry room. So the washer and dryer are gone. They're gonna have to finish patching up this with the drywall, all painted white again once that's done, and then they're putting in a drop ceiling this weekend. So definitely coming along. It feels so much more open, which is great. Again, might not look like that on camera, but if this wasn't here blocking it off, you'd be able to see a better scope of the space. But yeah, not too bad of progress in the past few days. Just gonna have to go through this again, and yeah, this right now is my major concern, which was completely unexpected, but I guess that's how this stuff goes, right? You gotta expect the unexpected. Oh man. All right, so it's been about 10 days since I last updated you guys. Last Friday I had this lighting is horrible. That's all right. It's early morning. I look like shit. Whatever. And I need a haircut. I'm gonna go get a haircut today. Last Friday, I had a Serve Pro tech come out and sort of assess the damage. And they pretty much, verified that the majority of this is surface mold, which isn't a huge deal. But yes, there is signs of water damage on the inside of the wall, which could potentially be the bigger problem. Now, like I said, since we had the new flashing installed on the new deck, he said that since there's that's sort of fixed, if there's nothing for the mold on the inside to really feed off of, if there's no more water or moisture, then that will pretty much sort of remedy itself. But my two options were gut this entire wall completely, gut the studs if they're damaged, redo this entire wall pretty much, which would take like a month out of the studio time here, given all the delays that's been going on as it is. This would be a massive, massive setback. Or option two, they have a this like vacuum that like sucks up the mold on the wall, clears it off, and they have this spray that like kills any surface mold and that kind of stuff. So I'm going with that. They're going to be here in about 45 minutes. So they can hopefully knock that out and we can get this wrapped up, because I haven't had a video out on the channel now in about 2 weeks. You guys are probably going to see this in October. So at that point, when everything is finished up and all the stuff that gets put back into place, who knows when I'll be able to get back to editing and stuff. I've just like been starting to get some filming done with the portions of the studio that weren't really closed off this whole time. But yeah, I'm gonna finish repainting this wall today, put some spackle on those holes, finish that all off. So hopefully I can finish this new part of the studio. But for the other part of the studio, that just got wrapped up. All right, so to give you guys a look at the new space, it is finished in both senses of the word, where it's a finished project and now the actual part of this basement is finished. It just opens up the studio so much more for potential on whether I want to do a setup over here or just build a new set. But as you can see, it is very empty right now. It's very sterile. Right? It's like a empty doctor's office with the gray floors, all white walls, the white lighting. What's good is that this is a blank canvas, where if I do want to paint the walls for like a different color, or have like a moody set or something like that, you're still going to want to have a white base first. So this is all just a blank slate. I'm going to put up some like Pinterest mood boards and ideas that I've been thinking about. So I do want to do something different with this spot. I'm not just going to leave it all completely white and creepy like it is now, but definitely want to hear your feedback. And what's cool about these lights are they are adjustable for color temperature and brightness. So if I do want to make it a bit warmer or just like a standard daylight, I can adjust those as well. Gonna have a big carpet down here, so this space is going to completely transform, and it really does just open up the studio. Like, this is like, it's a whole new room now. And just to have that right next to my setup, which, yes, as you can see, everything is still super unorganized and messy with the projects we have going on. This at least is a bright spot, literally. And looking forward to turning this into something new. All right, so give you a little update yet again. Why not? Like I said, I'm gonna get a haircut right now. They left about an hour ago, and then after everything was like dried up, whatever they sprayed on the wall, I spackled those holes. So I'm giving that some time to dry, and then I'm gonna give the walls a fresh coat of white paint just to make it more lively looking, because the wall's pretty beat up. So I didn't even show it, but last week, the same day that I took those panels down, is when I went to Lowe's. I got the 2x4s, I stained them, I put a matte coat on them, got the mounts on them, so everything's all ready to go. I've just been waiting for the whole mold treatment to get done, so now that that is done, I can finally, like I said, I'll paint the wall, let that dry, and then put on those 2x4s, just for that extra decor, like I was saying, to go along with that sort of theme. But if you guys are still watching at this point, I apologize. This vlog has been all over the place. I didn't get a lot of footage, if at all, when they were first knocking down like a lot of the walls and redoing the old laundry room, because
90% of the studio was taped off since they were demoing those walls. They had all those tarps up to prevent all the drywall and dust from getting everywhere. So I really don't have any footage. The only really access I had to the studio was just that certain little point where the setup was so closed off. But I haven't been able to get a lot of filming done, editing done, just very, very few bits of editing of stuff that I filmed before all these projects started. So I've been getting a bit stir crazy. Again, by the time you guys see this, it's probably October. Hopefully I'll have some content rolling out around this time whenever this gets pushed out. The last like 10 days, it's been so gloomy and rainy. I don't think it's been sunny like at all the past 10 days. So it's just been draining me. Had to get out of the house, need some ambient light, you know. Yeah, it's been a long process, but things are starting to wrap up. And then, like I said, once I could figure out what to do with those that extra room, if you guys have any ideas, please give me any feedback at all, and that'd be great. I'm wiped out, guys.
It's been a long day, just wrapping this up now. As you can see, I got the 2x4s mounted, put up like the fake ivy and stuff, and I got that one plant from the upstairs office as I begin to bring all of that down. Like I said, I'll probably put that white desk back where this is. I don't know, but yeah, definitely not too bad. Looks pretty good for just adding that extra background texture and sort of depth for when I'm getting different angles and stuff over here. I think it just looks a lot better, adds more life to the studio as well versus just having those black panels, which made everything darker as a result. But yeah, it came out pretty good. Had everything measured. It's just about 18 inches from the left side of the stud to the right side of the next stud. So everyone's pretty much laid out nearly identical, give or take like an eighth or so on some of them just from user error. I wanted to have another one over in that corner, but where like that one HVAC sort of thing is up on the wall, it leads right down to an outlet, so I couldn't really put anything there. That's why I just have one starting all the way in the corner, and then every 16.5 inches is the middle of the stud. It's the middle of the next stud, I believe that's how it was. I don't know. I measured it all out, but happy at least this part's done. It's been a long day. I need to go to sleep.
Man, oh man, it has been a busy 3 to 4 weeks with all these different projects going on. So I apologize for the delay in content over September when you guys are seeing this now in October. Hopefully this video gives you a better idea of all that's been going on. But I think altogether, the wall accomplishes the look I was going for. If you compare it to the screenshot from the show, it's not a literal 1-to-1, obviously, because you have to worry about like the lens and the focal length and stuff, but the overall design and aesthetic of it, I think I accomplished. And it's gonna be just a matter of time before I be able to start to switch some stuff up behind the scenes. Now, obviously I don't have a full tour for you guys right now with it all being completed because this is still an ongoing work in progress. That part over here, the new part of the studio, I'm probably gonna save for my 2024 setup video when I do a full dedicated tour of the entire studio. But like I said, I just really have to figure out the overall vision of what I want that room to be and ultimately purpose of what I want that room to be. So if you saw those pictures of the inspiration that I had from Pinterest, let me know like which one you really liked. I have just so much in my head going on that I just have to, first off, take care of videos, finish up editing from projects that have been, stalled off the past 3-4 weeks, and then I'll eventually get to that room around the holidays. But yeah, taking you guys with me on the chaoticness that has been the studio renovations over the last month. Hope you enjoyed the little switch up in content with more of like a vlog style. And yeah, let me hear all your feedback, your thoughts, your room ideas, all that stuff in the description down below. That'll wrap it up for this one, guys. I'm Randomfrankp. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.